What's good, people? What's good? Black Eyes TV here once again. Come in, come in. This is a little event update announcement with Mr. Riggs. Talk to the people, brother. Take over. Tell them what's good.
Yes. Are we on?
We live, brother. We live.
We're on. Okay. It just didn't come on that we're live. Greetings, people. Greetings, people. Love you lots. Love you lots. A lot of things been happening since we've been around. It's been a year since we've gone back to the States. Now, we are trying to able to understand the public. We want people to write in. We want people to email us. We want people to tell us what directions to go, because we want your ideas, and is for the people, by the people. So we're asking for you to able to come and check us out in many ways, because we have quite a lot of things to do. We've been doing things for some time now, and we need your help. So what topics you would like to hear, what kind of things you would like to see, and things that we try to do as much as possible live. As we are to be venturing out to the US of A very soon. So we've been trying to what we call the UK USA link up. What this is a form of creating some unity, some form of collaborations in whether it's products, whether it's books, whether it's entertainment, or even just discussions, because we need to able to collaborate internationally, because we've been too long in the frame mindset of working as an individual, working as one small box in a community. Now, I'm asking people out here, what would it be, or what would you like to see on Black Eyes TV7? People, is there any ideas or any ideologies that you feel that you would like to see or like to do within your community? Would you like to promote your events? Would you like to have certain discussions? As we have many programs coming up very soon. Some of these topics are things to do with uplifting our people as much as possible. What would you like? What would you like to do? What would you like to give? What would you like to hear? Because, we want to do certain programs for you. We want to show you the certain things that we need to do. So, we have what we call the Signet Awards coming up on the 7th of June. We want to even touch down to the International African Festival in New York. But we have one big event coming up 4th of August and the 5th of August. This event, which will be called the Black History Weekender. This Black History Week is something you may want to take part in as a community, which is going to be consistent of many things. We're going to indulge in forms of music. We're going to indulge in the forms of fashion. We're going to indulge in the forms of music entertainment. But the biggest thing that we're going to do is creating a form of an economical system, which we will call the African market. So I'm asking for people like you out there, how would you perceive or how would you like your event to be like? Because Mr. Riggs, Terry Riggs, the UK tour guide to the rest of the world, I want to know, what is it that you would like if you was going to an event? Let me just quickly look into the chat room and seeing who is there. Greetings, Sapphire. Peace and love. Yes. We have Neil Brown. Who else have we got? We got Melanin Goddess. Big up. Who else have we got into the corner? Who else so far? Anyway, let's go back into the situation. I want to talk about this Sinetta Awards. Now, we're trying to go over to the States and bring as much people as possible to this awards. Now, when we go over there, we want to take pictures, we want to engage, we want to unify, we want to work with every single person. So we're looking for people out there in the States to able to engage with. You know, there is many of us that needs, many of us that need to engage in unifying ourselves. So by going to this Sinetta Awards is something that we are trying to work with and able to show the rest of the world what we can do by forms of collaborations. What is it that you would like to see out there? I'm asking you as the general public. Greetings, Melanin Goddess. What is the ideas or what kind of stuff would you like to see on BLACKICETV7? Because as I was speaking about this event, we will be, so if there's anyone out there that wants to able to talk, even through the channel, which we can able to stream at the event, if you're interested, we can able to promote. So this is the reasons, a lot of the reasons why yeah. Sorry, people, as people are trying to engage in what I'm trying to do.
You still there, bro?
I'm just reading one of the informations.
What are you reading?
People like to ring and disturb me.
Shout
right
out to
now.
Farouk in the chat room. Shout out to Farouk.
All right, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Just quickly do a shout out for me, please.
Yeah, shout out to Solar Mind every time. Solar Mind, sort it out, bruv. We're supposed to be doing a show, bruv. Get it together. Yeah, you're supposed to let me know about this subject matter. People, tomorrow we should have Professor Carver back on doing part 2 to his lecture that he started off 2 weeks ago. I should be doing the flyer and I'll pass that out. So that should be there with some information with the title. And on Thursday, again, we're going to have the other brother who you saw, Patar Seeker, coming back on to give us some more information. And Asar Kar may be joining us as well on that show. That's on Thursday night. But again, I'll confirm it. I'll throw together a flyer and get that out there for the people then. As Terry was talking about, it's all about this Sarnetta TV Awards. I should be there. You get me? I will be there, hopefully, getting the footage. You'll see my face popping up. You'll see the interviews getting done. So there should be some juicy tidbits. We'll be backstage at that Sarnetta TV Awards, getting all them different perspectives on the day. We'll be speaking to our Sapphire as she helps with the hosting. We'll get a word from Sarnetta, who will probably be running around like a headless chicken, but we'll be on him nonetheless. You get me? So yeah, that's to look forward to. Now I know Terry was also gonna mention about our own UK award show by the Qatar Council, and that's in December the 8th. When Terry comes back on, I know he's got more details for that. Look out for that. That's December the 8th. There are flyers out for that. They are looking to bring Sarnetta, Professor James Smalls, and Jabari over. I could give you that inside scoop. Hopefully that happens. Sarnetta is supposed to be coming over here as well, with Brother Jabari sometime after the award show. So again, we'll keep you posted on that. Yeah, again, as Terry was saying, all suggestions are needed. Oh yeah, I gotta put this out in the airways. I've been told to put this out in the airways.
Greetings.
You back on tel? Cool.
Yeah, just people. What it was is that I was doing it through my phone, so people kept on calling me. But right now I can't speak up or do anything on the phone. So now we're back.
Come on, then don't get lazy in it. Do it on the computer.
Yeah. So as I'm saying is now we're trying to engage with the general public because we want to build Black Ice TV as much as we can, and we need the people out there to understanding that we want people to engage in ideas of how to move forward, not this back and fro arguments and whatsoever. We want to create new programs. We want to create new things, but we need the general public as the community and international community to able to engage in what we're trying to do. You know, so Brother Rich, what kind of ideas do you have in your mindset that you would like to do for yourself? Can you hear me, Rich?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother.
Yeah, just a quick second. I just want you to give some fresh ideas of what to expect that is coming before I go back into the event.
Just before you came on, I told the people already what shows are up and coming. But what we will be doing is we'll be having people presenting. But what I want to keep up is having panel sessions. So we'll be having people like Ngozi again presenting certain information. We're trying to get Divine Prospect and a couple other people. We'll have Sarah back on and Callum presenting. But every time people present, there will always be a panel. I'm trying to put together a more show right now where we can actually get to the bottom of the differences between our Moorish brothers and find out who's who in the realms of the Moorish world. Yeah, we have got a debate brewing. Hopefully we can put that together. That's hopefully going to be with Michael Edwards. If you're listening, if you get this, people, pass the message on the airwaves. Michael Edwards, we need that debate with our brother Sarah or Callum. I don't mind, but yeah, Michael Edwards is the next debate on the cards. So look out for that. He hasn't agreed to anything yet. Let me put that out there, people. But I am trying to hunt him down and bring him in. And there will also be a high level of elder shows coming. Yeah, I've already told you, Brother Carver should be on tomorrow, and we'll continue to do a regular set, same as our brother Patar Seeker.
Okay. So what's the topic about today? What's the topic about tomorrow?
People is gonna have to wait for that. I've got to put the flyer together later on. We're still
no injection of some form of idea. Is it left off from the last time?
We're still dealing with the history angles, the seen and the unseen, the journey of our ancestors. So yeah, look out for that, people. But that should be on tomorrow, and Thursday, Patar Seeker. So yeah.
Yeah, because I want to really talk about what does people want to see, especially in some forms of academia. We want to able to show as
you might have been seeing, if you're on my Instagram or on my Facebook, you'll realize that I'm trying to able to create a book. And what I'm trying to do is what I call follow the yellow brick road in the forms of trade, understanding that we're looking for the money trail to be able to get certain little things, so that things like we can do bite sizes in going into the archives, going into the museums, going into certain places and seeing the first primaries, not the second primaries, not the third primaries, the first primaries. So we do bite sizes of certain people that were living and around and seeing their records and understanding where they come from. You know, it's not just going on the basis of what we see or hear online, but actually going to see the actual artifacts and seeing the documents that are provided for you. So there is a lot of collaborations that we're doing that with people in the States, and as well as doing a lot of collaborations with a lot of the UK people over here. So like, as you would see, we're doing a project with Michael, which is the John Blank project, and trying to find many ways of able to rejuvenate or upgrade our past, so that the youngsters could have a relation or understanding of the history, not just forcing something, not making something boring, but trying to work with something to bring in that excitement in. So this is what Black Eyes TV is trying to do. So when I go back to this event that we're trying to do on the 4th and the 5th of August, it's something, as we call it, the Black History Weekender. I repeat, the Black History Weekender. What we're going to be able to put on this event is something phenomenal, because the theme is it takes a village to raise a child. But before we can become that village, we need to unify as a village. We need to work together as a village. Doesn't matter what religion, doesn't matter what organization you're from. We need every single person to able to collaborate. This is what we're asking for. We're asking for people to come down on them 2 days, yeah, to able to meet us in places, because we're going to cover quite a lot of history, where we've got many tour guides coming in that are going to show you the true facts and primaries of where these people were, who these people were, and identify our lineage in the form of the UK experience. Now, once we start to maneuver from one place to the other, places like the obelisk, the places like the British Museum, the places like the Portrait Museum, the places like the Victoria Albert, my favorite place. Then we're going to places like Marcus Garvey's house, his wife's house, the Zulu King's house, the Oluwaseun stayed. These are the kind of history we're trying to show our children once again, that this is where our important people lived. Once they get that education, then we can able to enjoy ourselves as a community by going to this event, which is going to be the village. We're going to have a big, massive market with all different stall holders. So if you're a stall holder and you need to come on board, or you want to able to come on board onto being that stall holder, just email us on blackicetv@gmail.com. I repeat, email us on Gmail at blackicetv@gmail.com. I repeat, blackicetv7@gmail.com. blackicetv7@gmail.com. So
or you can hit me up on the Instagram BlackIceTV7, same thing, or Facebook, which is BlackIceTV7 Richie. Yeah, BlackIceTV7 Richie. Look out for that one. You can hit me on Messenger, get messages to me, send me the poster. We'll talk on the idea. Melanin Goddess, yeah, please email me about that mental health show. I'm definitely interested in doing that. Get at me.
Yeah. So basically, even with the talk shows, we want to be able to have these venues and events so that you can able to do live stream lectures. You don't even sometimes need to fly over. We just stream you straight to the screen at the venue, at the event. You know, you could do a 45-minute, half an hour, 45 minutes presentation to the English public as well as the rest of the world. So we are asking for you, if you want to collaborate with us, we are open for many discussions and suggestions. So at this event, we're going to have music artists. At this event, we're going to have fashion shows. At this event, we're going to engage with the children. We're going to even have what we call the scholar called Robin Walker. We're going to have people from the organization of Narrative Eye. We're going to have people like Paul Abenga and his timeline. We're going to have people of merchandise. There's going to be people like Dalian and Ancestral Voices, people that were talking about they don't understand the spiritual systems that were happening in Africa. This guy has got a profession in this. He's got a DVD called Ancestral Voices 1 and 2. He's got a book as well as he sells and lectures in many aspects. Check him out on Facebook or go to Ancestral Voices on YouTube and you will find the information about the spiritual system. So when you're having debates and arguments over spiritual systems, this is the man that knows many, and he has engaged with many. As I have engaged with many people in many kingdoms, we're going to be engaging with other people across the water, especially Africa, because we need to show what it's like and what it's about. People shouldn't be scared of it. They should embrace it and able to fly over there and see it for their own two eyes. Because we can all talk about things online, but when you have an experience going over there, you haven't got a clue. So don't let people put you off. So it's something that you need to understand for you to able to even work or do some form of profit or try to do some form of business. You can't just do it in your own area code. That's crazy. You keep to one area code when you've got the whole world to sell to? Why would you want to do that to yourself? So it's able to collaborate with many people as possible. So going back to this event, we are trying to able to educate our children once again, from the babies all the way up. Because if we don't educate our system, we're going to trap ourselves into one box. Let the children decide by educating them from our history, from the things that we are doing. Let's not argue. Let's just work together as one big unity. Because this is something that we're missing, regardless. This is why we need to able to open up the doors. This is why we're going to the Sinetta Awards. So, as I said, this year, we're going to do many other things. We've even got one thing we're putting up on the 8th of December, the Qatar Council Awards. This is what we're doing over in the States, in the UK. And we're encouraging people from the States to come over, come and work with us. Get that ticket on the 8th of December. Come to the UK. Let me show you what Black people do in the UK. We know our history. We know our information. So if you want to enjoy the UK Black experience, hit us up. Because on the 8th, we're going to have that big awards. We're going to have many people across the waters coming over to this event on the 8th of December, which is the Qatar Council Awards. You're going to see many information that's going to come up on the 8th of December. I repeat, the 8th of December. I'm going to start putting up some links. If you follow me on Instagram, HKTHOLA. Repeat, on my Instagram, HKTHOLA. OLA, you will see all the things that we're trying to promote as much as possible. Or go to the Richie, what is your Instagram? Richie, as he's too busy.
Sorry, what was the last thing you said?
I said, what is the Instagram?
Oh, sorry. The Instagram is BLACKICETV7. Yeah. At BLACKICETV7. Yeah, that's all you need for the Instagram.
Yeah.
And
so that they can understand what is going on, because this is a new thing, and every time we step up, because we're doing hard work behind these scenes, and people don't realize how much work we're putting in. So I just want people to know where to find you and how to find you sometimes, because they need this information so that we can engage with many people out there. So I'm asking someone, if anybody wants to come and join us right now, we will be much obliged to hear your opinion. So if you feel that you want to come in and chat with us, send us a message on the Instagram, or send us a message on the Facebook, or send us a message straight on the YouTube, and then we will pass you on the link. Now, as I was saying now, once again, Rich.
Yeah, I'm there, brother.
Yeah. I want to see your opinions on how you see the community right now, because I want to have a greater understanding of what's going on and helping the community as much as possible. But there is a lot of factors of in-house disputes here, there, and everywhere. But I'm a person, I don't like to sugarcoat. I like to hear the truth, and I like to talk about the truth and say it as it is. What is your opinions of what you see and you hear, and how certain things have been delivered?
Well, if we're talking about information,
yeah,
from the YouTube channels, well, again, I just want to encourage healthy debate. I think there's nothing wrong with questioning information. It's just how we choose to do it still needs to be refined. That's the problem. And that's what we're trying to do. That's why I don't mind people presenting uninhibited. But afterwards, I think people have to get used to being examined in what they're saying by peers who also have read and have questions that the normal people may have. Like I think all information should be subject to scrutiny. So that's what I want to bring back. And in turn, I think if that's done, then people will support the YouTube channels more. They'll naturally watch the debates more. We can have more debates, full stop, because it's going to be conducted in a different way, in a more respectful way. And we can deal with deeper subject matters in a respectful way, because that's why I keep saying to people, there's a lot of subject matters that are debated that are not given the respect of what's being talked about. So, at the same time, talking about spirituality or the self-preservation of Black people, you're talking a whole lot of mess in between. Yeah, so that kind of needs to get cut out. That's what we're trying to avoid. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be shy to bring in conversation, and I also want to bring conversation between the elders and the youngers. And when I say youngers, I mean slightly less generation, but we do have elders like are coming on the platform that are in their 60s, 70s. So, our other elders and people of our peers who are in their 50s and those levels there, and people of all ages who are scholarly, I would like to encourage more conversations where people get to question our elders. Yeah, because again, not everything is right. Sometimes people get stuck in a rut and end up repeating certain mistakes that never really get rectified. So again, I think it can be challenged and brought in a respectful way, but we can definitely learn and clarify and clean up the community and the way that we receive information.
Yeah, don't you feel that let me explain something. Don't you feel that in the terms of elders having wisdom and the youngsters having high knowledge, there is a big gap in between the situation in that we hear the same story on both sides of the parties, which sometimes
here, brother, you gotta have balance. You see, the problem is too much heartless scholarship going on these days. Everybody's saying they're a scholar. That's cool. Yeah, I get it. You're reading, you're retaining information, you know, you're putting together conclusions. Great, great, great. But if none of what you're reading is connected to your moral compass and the way you govern yourself in your everyday life, then there's no point. And as Africans, as Black people, that's not how we move. Yeah, everything's connected. There's no separation. So if you're reading something or you're studying something, they're supposed to have a direct connotation to yourself. That's what people need to get back to. And I think we've reached a point where, again, because a lot of people have taken the mick, they've taken the piss out of spirituality and these aspects, metaphysics, now it's become a mockery. Now it's become pseudo. Nobody wants to deal with it. But in turn, when you do that, you lose some of the essence of what you're truly supposed to be, which no book can tell you, which no book can govern. And at the same time, if you're unbalanced and you're always in the sky and you don't deal with facts, then you're going to be lost because there's a context to information. Yeah, there's always a context. There's always a way to receive it, to disseminate it, and to use it for yourself. And if you don't apply real-time facts, again, you can easily be lost. So it's about striking the balance and understanding. But for me, too many heartless scholars out here who read a lot, retain a lot of information.
Do you find that for me personally, but don't you find that for me personally is that no one actually puts their foot on ground on forms of research? Everyone just gambles on what they hear or what they see or what they've been indoctrinated, and not able to go further in that form of research, because that's what most scholars are, isn't it? Most scholars will do that research and not just go on someone's opinion, but working in the perspective of other people in finding that evidence or that proof to showing the certain entities of facts.
Listen, some people are always going to regurgitate or rehash what they've heard and come out with the same points without critical thinking. But there's still, I think, a decent level of scholarship, and I'm going to use that word, scholarship, in the community, you know, from all different sections. But my thing is, are you a heartless scholar? Are you someone who just reads words and, you know, comes up with timelines and conclusions, but never really draws a line to your personal self and how you govern yourself in your everyday activities? Because if that's not the case, yeah, if you're a scholar, but you're going on with certain things and you're talking in certain ways and you can't conduct yourself in certain ways, then there's no point. There's no point. So you might as well just be a white boy.
Yeah. So it's basically, it's something of practicing what you preach.
Yeah, somewhat.
Just as simple as that. And that's the fun thing, is the one thing that I've realized. Like if you go into forms of history and you get an understanding that a lot of people back then, it took them like 40 years or 50 years to get to a certain peak, where you find that people want to become the same scholar that took 40 years within 6 months. They read 2 books and then they feel that they can dictate or explain something that they haven't got a clue about. Like in that forms of what we call like the demonology. You demonize everything else that's around you except for what your paradigm is talking about. So you don't engage with other people to understand where they are coming from. So I get that kind of scenario where some people are very dismissive and, you know, not taking in new information because of their old information of what they've been indoctrinated. because, you know, a lot of people are really indoctrinated from their environment. So there's a lot of us that were Christians. There was a lot of us that were Muslims. There was a lot of us that were very religious. But then some people have woken in its format where they've opened up their eyes and they've seen something and they're able to question and they're able to go into critical thinking. But then you've got some people that just jump into books. They read about 4 or 5 books and then they think they're a scholar. But then if you actually put the root of educational system of how you work, then you will understand it's more than just reading. When you're going to university establishments or you're going to forms of study or get sent somewhere, it takes many years to accomplish something. You can't just get a PhD overnight within 5-6 months. That's impossible. You can't get a degree in 6 months. You can't become a full-fledged religious person within a year. It's impossible because you haven't completed and studied your own personal information before you can even debate someone else's information, because you ain't even finished your own. You know, so these are the kind of things we want to be able to discuss. You know, I'm going to be doing many shows which they're going to be called No Sugarcoating. You know, let's just get to the nitty gritty of it. Let's just talk about the facts, and not only the facts of what's happening in that physical realm, but our mindset, our critical thinking. How do we do our critical thinking? How do we create think tanks? How do we create study groups? These are the kind of things that we're trying to accomplish. So by us giving you that school of thoughts, by able to seeing what the elders have got to offer, by seeing what the youngsters have got to offer, and able to come to some form of solution, because the solutions are already there. We will even be doing enough events on enough shows on that forms of economical system, not just looking to find money, but to able to build to make money, by able to creating resources. You can be having a fashion clothes, or you can have products, but then how do we develop and how do we collaborate in that situation? How do we do import and exporting? How do we go internationally? You can go internationally on a small scale by just going and having a little website. You can actually able to sell your products worldwide. But by working with even us, as in the Black Ice stores, by us promoting you and coming on board on our situation, yeah, and able to talk about what your business is about, because this is why we're here for you. We want you to able to advertise and promote your products so that you can become that international, even if it's on a small scale of you selling 10 jars a week, but it's something that you can have more of. So these are the kind of things that we're trying to establish. We want to establish cook shows. We want to establish yoga shows. We want to establish as many things, fashion shows, clotheslines, you name it, we can deal with it. So we can promote our stuff so that we can be economically strong, so then we can able to dictate if we can make a ripple effect. Let's not talk about it. Let's just do it. This is why I'm always emphasizing on the hashtag power moves. Let's start to create them power moves. So when we're talking about this event, we want people to come out on the 4th and 5th of August. I want them to come in its loads and creating a fantastic picture, even outside the obelisk, better than the last one we did. We want to show the people that we can do things. So I'm asking people to come out. I'm calling for people to come out. Bring your children, bring yourself, educate yourself. Take these pictures to making this legacy. Because I'm asking you to create legacies, because if legacies are what going to keep us alive, as they talk about our ancestors, Our ancestors is our history. Our history is our ancestors. You kill off your ancestors, you're killing off your history. Then you're only going to keep yourself in one loop. So I'm asking you to come down on that 4th and 5th of August. And if you can, come on the 8th of December for that Qatar Council Awards, which the awards, they are put in as much effort that these awards are going to be very expensive. So they're going to the right people. We're asking people to engage. We want to be able to network. Don't care who you are, whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're this, you're a that. I don't care. I just want us as a black people, a black race, to able to collaborate and to work. Enough's enough. We've been on that bottom of that pile, and we need to come out of that pile to able to show the public what we can do. So we can put down our legacies. We can write down our legacies. I want even the most commonest person to be as famous as anything, to showing that, you know what, I can show my son, you know what, or my daughter that I was there when this phenomenon happened. This is the reason why I encourage people, if you want to join us in what we call the new beginning, that's the movement. The movement is powerful. It's getting bigger and bigger. You know, we have many organizations working around us that are moving forward. We have people like the Manhood Academy, the Sisterhood Academy, the Rites of Passage. We have the what we call the People's Verses. We have the people in the media. Oh, Richie, by the way, on the media front,
yeah,
as we've always been talking about this media collaborations and collaborating as a media entity, because we need to have a discussion on our media, because our media is what's going to able to push things forward in every genre. So if we have that powerhouse, so we need to have even a show and a discussion on all the mass medias as one. What is your instances? Because I always remembered you was always talking about it. And what would you like to see within the media game?
Listen, I need to see everybody linking up. It's a twofold thing. I need all the black media entities out there. Yeah, the Titans TV, Got Kush, HMP TV, Black News 102, Black
Contents
Magic,
of everything.
all of them. That's it. Content. Yeah, I need all of those entities, including BLACKICETV7, to start working together. When you're looking at mainstream media, they work together. They share footage. They collaborate to get a joint message out. Whether or not we're calling it propaganda, whatever, they're still working as one to get a joint message out. Secondly, yeah, they can't do that unless the public recognize them as black, as media entities. So again, when it comes to all of the channels and more that I haven't mentioned, yeah, the public have to start recognizing black media. They have to start making means and gains for access for the black media to get access to their events, to the people that are speaking. It should be second nature to send out invites, guest invites to black media stations, yeah, for them to cover your event. It should be second nature for you to reach out and also want to do shows based on the events that you're doing in real time. This is what we need. We need the public to recognize the black media entities, and we need the black media entities to work together. Yeah, so that's one of the main things that I'm trying to push towards, and that again goes planetary wide. Yeah, as you've seen Black Eyes TV trying to do the UK USA link up shows. Yeah, we're having great success with those link up shows. And we've done UK Caribbean. Yeah, we want to bring the African show. We've tried to do the African show a few times, but I had a few fallouts and whatever. but we'll be bringing that shortly. But that's what it's about. It's about global.
Yeah, because be aware that there'll be we're going to be engaging with the Angolan and Portugal perspective. So we're going to be going back and forth from Angola to Portugal and showing that identity, as well as we're going to be doing things like, as in, oh, don't forget, as I haven't even been promoting it, is the Gambia, where we're going to be able to do what they call it, a vegan food fest, an international vegan food fest in Gambia. Because, you know, one thing again, as we talk about the media, we don't really talk about much about our health and the products around health and able to looking after ourselves as personal. Because we all talk and say, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, but we don't look out for ourselves in forms of health. So in forms of people, we're asking for people that are into forms of the gym or forms of exercising or forms of teaching martial arts. We want you to come on board, show and demonstrate so we can educate our people in that forms of the martial arts, sports and health, and then able to engage in even with the economical system with that form of health. So when we engage with people like Queen Afua and we do the super greens and we do the breath of life, all these kind of products, we have the what do you call it? Marindinas, which we promote the A, B, and J. We deal with the Minister Inky. By the way, Mr. Inky, if you're listening, we've got your products in the UK, and we're asking to contact you once again because we need to wrap up and close up some stuff.
All right, Inky, you punk. Yeah, we're calling you out. Where are you at? Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So we want to go into that perspective of that health because you want to make your food your medicine. So we want to be able to show and teach. So we're going to be doing some cook shows, showing you how to cook, how to eat, and even with people that even eat meat. You know, how do I eat my meat? What can I try to do to reduce the amount of meat that I eat? But at the same time, when you're consuming meat, it's good to able to eat more vegetables than you eat your meat. So able to digesting meat out than just eating meat on its own. Because there's a lot of people that have many different issues. Then, you know, having shows on fibroids or having shows on sickle cell, having shows on cancer, having shows on all different types of diseases. And then able to finding ways to even repair ourselves. So these are products and services that we need to chat about. Then we got to even talk about, as someone was saying, about we talk too much of history, but every sentence that we have, once it's gone out of your mouth, it is your history. So you can never disregard unless you want to look into the future. In fact, your history is not going to help you build yourself. So we need history as much as possible so that we can learn our mistakes and able to upgrade from that past. Because without that past, how are we going to move forward into our future? Is it not your history that brought you forward? You know? So basically, we're trying to cover topics of history. We're trying to cover topics of health. And then we're trying to cover topics of mind, like how we had, what's his name? Bant. You know, we need to bring that back on board, talking about the mind, critical thinking, talking about empowering our people, talking about what kind of things we need to do in our lives. Because you know what? A lot of people don't practice things at home. They've already taken this European concept and they live that European concept. We need to break ourselves free from it. We need to be free thinkers. Don't make people govern you. Govern yourself. Learn from yourself within and able to collaborate in that within with others. Because a lot of people try to do self and end up being selfish. Because the one main vital part is our family. We're missing out on that. So for us, our family to able to grow, you don't have to be the bloodline. Everybody's family. And you know what kind of family I'm talking about? We need to collaborate as much as possible. And as I said, I don't care where you're from or who you are or what stances you have, but it's able to create in these things. And you know, all these things that we're talking about is able to creating shows out of them. So if you have a voice, as I said, inbox us or even email us on BLACKICETV7@gmail.com. You know, or even if you want to be discreet, just check me up on Facebook, look for Terry Mr. Riggs, as they know me as Mr. Riggs, and just inbox me and let's have a discussion. Let's talk. Let's build that bridge that we were supposed to be building. And it's not just about from one state to the other. We're talking about from continent to continent. We're going international. Let's collaborate. Let's see what you can offer and what we can offer. And that's how we can do joint adventures. Let's begin to build. So as I was talking on this 4th and the 5th of August, it's about building. It's about working as a family. If you've got 100 children, bring them down. Let's start to teach and educate. At the same time, able to have the fun, listen to the vibrations of many music artists, able to see the fashion shows, able to sponsor and spend black and believe in black in the African market. You know, able to listen to people like Robin Walker or Yinka, Paul Obenga. There's many that we have in this in the British paradigm that we have, and we would like to bring them to the Americas, to Africa, to the Caribbean. You know, even we're trying to even get like people like Mutabaruka, as we're calling out for Mutabaruka, because we want you to come to our awards and able to justify and do things for us in the forms of poetry, in the forms of giving us that lyrics of our history and understanding how to move forward. Because you know what? We need to move forward. So, yeah, as I was explaining in that phenomenon, that the 4th and the 5th, I keep on repeating, the 4th and the 5th, I'm asking every organization, because I'm calling them all out.
The 4th and the 5th of August.
4th and the 5th of August. I'm asking Nation of Islam, you must come out. I'm asking the Nawabians, you must come out. No long talk. Represent your status. I'm asking the Pan-Africans, come out. I'm asking the Rasta movement, come out. The Fire Mengi, come out. The Coptic Church, come out. I'm asking Manhood Academy, come out. We all want to do something for the people. Let's work together and do something for the people. Don't just do it as an individual. We're all family out here. You understand? We need even the churches, even if the churches are coming, come out. If you think you have something to say, come out and let's collaborate. Stop the talking and being selfish. But you know what? Let's work and come together as one big party. Show the world what we can do. Forget the fighting, forget the arguments. Nip that in the bud. Let's collaborate in a form of unity without association. You don't have to work with them, but you can deal with them in the form of business. Like as you have a supermarket. A supermarket don't just sell their products. They sell others. But that doesn't mean the two products work together. They just sell the both products on their shelf together. So it's not about your ideologies. It's not about you leading. It's about us coming together as one people. Let's stop this arguments and these biffs and buffs that is happening. But as I keep on explaining, I want you to represent your status, your people. Even I'm asking for people like gang, come out, come and entertain the people. I'm asking people like Titans TV, come out, show them what you can do, what you're about. I'm asking HMP, come out. We're asking Got Kush, come out. Contents of everything, come out. We're calling for every single organization within the UK and far beyond. If you feel that you need to say something, we would love to stream you live and speak to the public. So we're trying to get this thing moving. As we are learning and as we are getting this information, what are we doing with it? Are we just educating ourselves to debate and argue? Are we educating ourselves to able to have discussions so we can create solutions, so we can create think tanks? Our people need educating. But if you're going to be firing at each other and dismissing the actual conversation or the topic that is being put up in front of you, and you want to have a dialogue of cussing people off, talking about the craziness, and that's another thing. I don't tolerate no shit on this platform. So if you're going to come and talk your stuff and you're going to start not able to handle the discussion, then you shouldn't be here. Because enough's enough. We're not having none of that stuff, that stuff upon our show, because we have babies out here. So there might be a parent that might want to show some form of information to their children. So you can't be doing all that testosterone stuff. You know, I'm not even mentioning no names, but this is what we're about. We're trying to discuss and we're trying to push forward. We're going to be collaborating with many other entities. It's not just about us, because this thing is bigger than us. So this is these are the kind of things that we're talking about. So this is why we are trying to engage people to come into this event on the 4th and the 5th of August. I keep on repeating, the 4th and the 5th. If you don't turn up, that means you are whatless. You're not even becoming that tourist again to able to engage with others of knowledge and information. There's a lot of scholars that are giving up their time just to come and do this. As we know, it takes a village to raise a child. So if you want to engage and you want to learn to gain in this experience and able to engage with the market stalls, from your shea butters to your black soaps, you know, we're having the Ankwell bean there. They're going to be putting all their products on there. We're going to have different authors. We're going to have people of different types of statures. We even got what we call the diaspora wear, which they've contacted us. They're coming straight from Nottingham. We've got the what's he called? What's that guy's name? Richie, the one from the books. Oh, how can I forget his name, man?
Who?
The Black History books. He's doing an event in Birmingham. And I've forgotten the name of his business. Now let me quickly. I have to check it up, you know, because I have to big up the brother.
All you gotta look for is Black History Activity books.
Yeah, the Black History Activity books. You see how the people from the UK put in the work. The man travels from state to state in America. He took himself away from the UK and able to come to the States and able to promote his books. That's why his books have to sell, because he's putting in that work, because he's identified that he has to be international, not just in Birmingham, not just in London, UK, but across the waters, because he believes in educating the babies. We're going to even be working with people like Unapologetically Black, you know, who does his T-shirts. We're going to be working with people like Red Pill, Blue Pill, showing off their clotheslines and able to do fashion shows with these clotheslines and able to say that people can come and buy their products. There is many different types of things that we can do. So we're asking for people to come down and collaborate and engage. So even if you're in the States, come to the Sinera Awards or come to the the International African, what do you call it, Festival in New York. We're asking for people to engage with us because we want to act as your diplomat. We want to act as your people, able to take in your stuff across the waters, all the way to the UK, all the way into Europe, all the way into Africa. We want to able to be that connect, that can able to provide that by doing import and exporting, bringing things from the UK to Americas and bringing things from the Americas to the UK and vice versa in the Caribbean and in Africa. We've got many resources that is available, from the raw materials to the finishing manufactured products. Don't let other people do with work. You need to able to take control of your destiny. You need to take control of your legacy. Do you want to be forgotten? As I always say, if you look 5 generations back, can you tell me your great-great-great-great-grandfather's first name? Not many people can do that because they've distorted our history. So the best way is to look at us into the future, that we need to be remembered. So how are you going to get yourself to be remembered? And the only way you're going to get remembered within your own family is by you creating a legacy within your own family as well as outside your family, because we are the village. We are the people. So we need to able to give as much as we can. So we're going to, from here on, we're going to be doing loads of programs. We're going to be giving you loads of information. We've just been quiet for a while and giving you bits and snippets. But we want to be the public's mouth. We want to speak for the public. We want to bring the unification. We want to bring the understanding. We want to be able to understand and bridge and learn from others. I don't care if you're a Hebrew Israelite. I want to learn from how you live and how you do your life. I don't care if you're Nation of Islam. I don't even care if you're Gods on earth. I want to have an understanding so that I can be able to have my own personal understanding. I don't want to talk on something I don't know. I want you to represent who you are. So we need as much as possible for you to be able to engage with us. You know, I'm even shouting out to Brother Rich, you know, Black Magic. We need to engage. We need to be able to work together. I'm shouting out to all the other entities in the States. And if there's entities in Europe, and if there's entities in the Caribbean, and if there's entities in Africa. I don't care if you're South African, I don't care if you're North African, I don't care if you're East African, I don't care if you're West African. We all have a voice and a story to talk. We need to be able to collaborate. We need to be able to do things together. Let's make every stage that we do a phenomenon. We want to break boundaries, showing people that we can do this. If there's many heads, they can't chop us down. If there's one head, they will chop us down very easily. We're too much in looking at that one paradigm of one leader. It's not about one leader. It's everybody's a leader, because everybody's tapping into their creativity and able to turn in their creativity into that business, enabled for us to able to collaborate and able to negotiate and able to do business in many different ways. So we're asking for you to be able to put your input and to talk about this stuff. So as we're talking about this event, we're asking people to come out in its loads. Even if you say, you know what, I can't make the tours, I want you to be able to come to the venue and experience the engagement of others. But the tours are very vital because it's not just about seeing our history, not about just seeing the individual, but it's able to have the essence of collaborating with others and working with others and discussing while we're moving and looking at our history. Because our history is phenomenal. Because if it wasn't phenomenal, we won't be here. I'm tired of the talking. Let's start doing the action. And this is what I'm trying to ask people to engage for. So, Rich.
Yeah, brother.
In anything, let's have a little discussion on even like remember the topic that we wanted to have that discussion on, and we want people to engage in it in a group discussion. What was the topic called again? Are people very easily amused in that format?
Right. Are people easily amused when it comes to programs? We was talking in relation to the Black Panther movie at the time.
Yeah, that and in your stances, because before we can go into many discussions like that, because I want us to able to have that brain breaker, able to discuss, because you know what, it's time to stop sugarcoating. Let's just say it as it is. Let's just talk as it is. You know, are we people that are amused and able to run to a cinema and pay to watch this film? But yet, when we ask you to come into a black stall, you can't do that. But yet, you can pay to go to the cinema. What's your stances on it?
So again, it cut out, brother.
Yeah, as I said, your stances in understanding the perspective of people are very fast to go to the cinema, but when it comes to unity and raising money for us to elaborate or enlighten or empowering ourselves to moving forward, you can't see no one. But yet, when it comes to something like the Black Panther, on the European perspective, they're there within a shot.
Well, again, it's topsy-turvy on our priorities. That's all you're seeing. I mean, there's no pressure to go and see a movie. You don't notice it. You take the £10 out, the £20, the £30, whoever you're paying for, you go, you see it, you're entertained. It means nothing. But for some reason, there seems to be a problem when we're talking about building institutions, or when we're talking about supporting black media, or when we're talking about building events around problems or things that need to be addressed within the community. That's when there seems to be a problem, and the number of people that are actively prepared to be involved suddenly drop. But that's where, again, going back to that original statement, I think it just comes down to the attention span of people is very short. So if you don't have an entertainment factor to it, then they lose interest very quickly. And this is kind of subject to the YouTube era as well. It's encouraged that, where people think they can learn consciousness and all sorts of things in a couple videos, and it just doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that, where you learn something in just a couple maneuvers. It's an ongoing lesson. So I think from that perspective, we are easily entertained, because again, our attention span is shorter. So without even slating the movie, which I thought was not too bad, but again, the movie gave enough positive imagery to spark people's mind state. So so be it. It was a good thing. I'm not going to knock it from there. But again, the wider question is, if it can be the highest grossing, or one of the highest grossing movies of all time. And, you know, I think one time I heard an estimate where they were talking about the percentage of black people that's donated to that movie is about, you know, 23% or whatever of the populace, which could be right, could be wrong. But they're talking about a good £600 million, yeah, that's being donated by black people. So, you know, there's definitely money out there. There's definitely disposable cash. And I hate that word because no money is really just disposable. But due to the habits and the way we live, there definitely is disposable cash, because we show that every day in the trinkets and the different activities that we may engage in that don't necessarily help other than on a self-gratification level. But if you're talking about trying to help your people, then that same quick activity that you don't need to cut forever, only needs to be cut for a week, you know, that particular way round, and you donate that money to one of the things we've talked about, can definitely go a long way. But at the same time, I gotta say this: the way people govern the money is a problem as well, and needs to be addressed. Organizations a lot of the time are run very badly. I think that's something that we need to address in the black community: how we run our businesses and how we run our institutions, because they definitely need to tighten up the ship. So again, there's a natural synergy and trust from the public wanting to donate and feeling obligated to do so, but also knowing that when they give that money, yeah, that hard-earned cash to a cause, it's going to be governed properly. Yeah, so, you know, it's twofold. Again, it has to be a natural circuit for the public to trust and for the institutions to be built properly.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and then, as I said, yeah, there's a lot of factors, around it, and we need to able to even discuss about these kind of things. This is kind of that I'm asking people to, the general public, to engage. You know, it's something that we can able to build and study and see why these kind of things happen. You know, where we can see other people's perspective, even a religious status. You know, so in that format, it's something that, as I said, these are the major topics as in the community. As you know, I'm a bit funny with that word conscious community, but black people community, or whatever, how you want to perceive it, you know, of enlightening and talking about these discussions. So basically, you know, we came on here to able to elaborate on the procedures. So on this 4th and the 5th, I'm asking for all the media to get involved. I'm asking for anybody that is a music artist or poet or whatsoever, or someone that, even if you feel that you can stand up and talk about your business or what you are or what your entity, the stage is your floor. We want you to able to elaborate to people, because if you can promote yourself, how are you going to promote your business? So we're asking people in the music world, you know, come and sing and do your thing. Come and let's have fun. Let's enjoy each other's company, you know, and let's just do this. Even in the fashion community, where people are making all these different designs and different clothes wear and all this stuff. Come and engage in the fashion show, show off stuff. Come and talk about your stuff, you know, and in the forms of even acting and filming. I'm looking to open up a full production team. We want to know how we can able to shoot our movies of today and tomorrow and the past, present, and future. You know, let's engage in that form of entertainment. Let's talk about sports and our health and products, which we can use the African market, and you can come and demonstrate how your products work, how your products is good for the people, what it can do, how it can help, you know. Then we can talk about even the organizations where we can have the discussions, we can have the topics, we can have the, you know, the think tanks, you know, the study groups, you know, on that specific mindset, understanding why we do and what we do and how we do it, you know. And that stance is understanding the organizations. Let's study these organizations. Let's learn about these organizations so we can know where we stand. Not everybody's the same. We're all different. But you know what? We come under one common denominator. We have colored skin, as they say. We are black people. We're not colored, by the way. But yeah, looking at that stance and then looking at the whole paradigm and understanding the business aspect, the banking aspect, the law aspect, all the different entities of bringing this economical system, because you need a lawyer, you need an accountant, you need a surveyor, you need someone that goes into forms of craft. As you would know, you know that most courses comes from some form of craft, which they make a course out of it, and they try to educate you from what we call the guilds. Check it out, you know, because these are the things that body you. This is why when you put your children into these educational systems, you're learning under the European perspective. But the problem is that you're not educating your people on your own personal history. You're not educating your people under your forms of health. You're not educating people in your forms of business. We are traveler people. We're not meant to stay in one place. We're meant to travel and explore. Don't box yourself into one area code or one postcode, because that's a minimal of people. You've got to actually look at the demographics of one box and then looking at saying that, you know what, I'm going to sell my products in this area code. Then I've got to look at the demographics. How many people live in this area? Is there how much? Who am I selling my products to? Then you've got to look at things of age groups. Then you've got to look in the forms of male and female, and then you've got to look at the aspects of who needs it and who doesn't. So then by the time you've chopped everything up, you've got a minimal in one little area. That's why you can't explore and get and expand, because you're only putting yourself in one demographic. But this online thing, the social media thing, has given you the advantage of looking at things worldwide. So that small percentage becomes a massive percentage. Like if we take away the sugar coating of everything, and let's just look at the perspective of what the atrocities that they put us through in the forms of even slave trade. Look at how they were trading. Look how they were dealing with the business. They didn't say, yeah, we're just going to stick in Africa and have the people there. They knew that they had to do it internationally. They had to get things from different places. You know, you had to see a form. Like, as I always say, you look at Asian people, they're replicators. The Europeans, they're middlemen. The African people are the creators. But what is the African diaspora? It's the all, the knowing of all, because we're in the lion's den. But I'm not going to say too much on certain things, but it's something that we can able to do and able to collaborate. So I'm asking you and I'm pleading to you as a family, come and engage in your paradigm into our paradigm. Let's create this adventure. Let's create this journey so that we can show the youth what we can do. And the youth can come in with their knowledge, and the elders can come in with their wisdom. Do you know how powerful that can be? So we're asking for you to even engage with us when we come to the US. I want to speak to every single person when we get out there. I want us to able to collaborate with some of you. If you do believe want to come to the UK, you come and contact us. We are family. Don't be afraid. Talk to us. Let's see what we can do. Let's go through Europe. Let's go through Africa. Let's go through the Caribbean. These are the things that we need to work as one big family. So if you want to come to see Africa for the first time, there's going to be Gambia on the 25th of November. It's going to be phenomenal. We're going to be engaging in all different types of people in Gambia. Bring yourself down. Come and experience the African life. And if you can't, you can come to London. Experience it. Go to Portugal. Experience it. Go to Belgium. Experience it. Go to France. Experience it. Don't just listen to what the media tell you. Experience it. Travel. A lot of us talk about places that we've never been to because we say, oh, we've got access to the internet. The internet's going to tell me everything. The internet ain't going to tell you everything because it ain't going to tell you how to experience something until you actually experience it yourself. So, as we go back, the 4th and the 5th of August, I'm not going to say no more. Just come out, engage, talk, discuss. Let's eat like it's on the family table, as if we're back in that village. Because there's going to be all different types of food out there. We're going to have fun. It's not just about academia, but it's about engaging, joining, teamwork. I'm asking for all of you to come out and do some form of teamwork so we can able to discuss. And then for those who feel that they have a show or something to talk about, whether it's on the health, whether it's about cooking, whether about yoga, even sports, or even in the gym. How do you work out? How do you feel that may be good for that person? Let's engage in every subject because everybody has a creativity. So I'm asking you to inbox us at BLACKICETV7@gmail.com or inbox us on the YouTube or inbox us on the Facebook, the Black Eyes TV page. Like it, share it. Like here, I want everyone to engage, share, like. But you know what? We need to come together as one. We need to stop these fights. We need to stop these arguments. Stop looking at differences. Because the one factor that you're creating is a divide and conquer, not a unity. Because if your body separates itself, it will die. If your body comes together, it will live. So I'm asking for you to come on the 4th and the 5th of August. And then we'll have the celebrations on the 8th of December. But mind you, if you want to come with us in the forms of traveling in November for the Gambia, to come and experience that African taste of West Africa, see what it's about and make your personal opinion. Don't go on other people's opinion, because you know what? The African people are welcoming you over there. They would love you to come over there, but they're finding it very difficult to able to engage with people abroad because we've already created a stigma, a defense mechanism to avoiding us from traveling. But we've always traveled. Doesn't matter how we travel, but we've always traveled. We've never really stayed in one place, because if we stayed in one place, how we are today, we won't be all over the place. We won't be all over the world. So I'm asking for you once again, the 4th and the 5th of August. This event is going to be phenomenal. Even if you could take place in one of the photographic days where we're going to take this phenomenal picture because we're going to create posters of this picture. We're going to show the world about this picture, that this time, this place, we made history. So I want you to able to engage, even if you can just come out of 10 minutes of your time or taking the day off for the whole experience. I want you to take part in every different way. So if you're a Nation of Islam, if you're the Ras movement, the Firebingy movement, if you're a Kabilan, you're the Patar Council, you're the Pan-African movement, and any movement, any organization, I'm calling every single one of you. I'm not leaving none of you out. You all need to engage and get involved. We're talking about reparations. We're not about that. Let's talk about coming together and doing our own thing, not chasing. But I'm not saying you shouldn't go to reparations, because you should. You should be able to promote yourself on that day of reparations. Show the people who you are. Show the people what you can do. Show what you're about. So, and this is the August, this is the time and the month, because this should be our month. We have the reparations on the 1st. Then we've got our event on the 4th and the 5th. And we've even got the celebrations of the carnival at the end of August. So we need to clean up all the days in August and make it our day. Let's stop the talking and let's do the doing. So if you believe that you have something to say or you have something to do, let's come down and deal with it. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss about it. Let's drink on it. Let's eat on it. So this is the time, the 4th and 5th of August. I'm calling you out. If you believe you can't come out, then you've lost my heart, because you need to represent for you. Bring your children, bring your family, bring your wife, bring everybody. I'm asking all of you to come out. This is a call out to every black paradigm. I'm calling you to come and engage. Even if you can't make the awards, I want you to engage, especially for this 4th and 5th, because outside Marcus Garvey's house, I want us to be in numbers. When we're outside the obelisk, I want us to be out there in numbers. So this can be a photographic experience that you can show your children, your grandchildren can show their grandchildren that, yes, our father was there at that time of collaborating and working together. I'm calling you once again, and I repeat it again, the 4th and 5th of August. Don't let your people down. Don't let your organization down. If you feel that you're an organization and you're a movement, just look at what Marcus Garvey did. Let's elaborate that once again. Let's make that a phenomenon. When he went on in his car, driving down in New York and having all the organizations becoming one. Why can't we do that again? Learn, do your research and understanding. Richie, have you got anything to say?
No, you summed it up, brother.
Okay.
You're right.
So, Philly, all I said once again, look out for them shows. I want you to be able to share, like, subscribe. This is BLACKICETV7. So promote it as much as you can. Promote all other entities, the Titans TVs, the contents over everything, the HMP TV, the MBK. As I repeat, MBK, New Black Knowledge. They're spitting fire on their page. Sinetta, they're spitting fire upon that page. You know, Amara Squad spitting fire upon that page. Because we're working with everyone. I don't have no qualms in anything. We're all family. So people don't tell me how to do things or how it's supposed to be, but we need to work together. So I will be collaborating with many people and able to giving you that information. As we will say, we will give you the history, we will give you the health, we will give you the mental mindsets, we will give you the organizations, and we will give you the economical system. And we will bring it into the house of entertainment, fashion, films, documentaries, you name it, we'll be in it. So this is Black Ice TV once again. If you have anything else to say, Richie?
Look out for the show tomorrow. I'm going to confirm Brother Carver. Look out for the flyer. I'm going to put something together, or Brother Terry will get that out to the people. And look out for Thursday's show with Brother Patar Seeker. There is a show coming up with Red Pill and a few others on the importance of music, so look out for that as well.
Okay, and we will be doing a build-up show. As I said, I'm just waiting for a few people from the UK, because we need to engage with our UK audience. And we'll be doing other shows back and forth.
You know what? We're gonna have Andrew Muhammad on. He contacted me. We're doing something. Look out for the brother Andrew Muhammad. We'll have Manhood Academy coming back on as well. We have to reach out to Leon Muhammad as well, who should be joining us. And let me put this one out there, Terry, as well. I'm looking to have Callum L from Titans TV and Respect on to have a discussion. I would like my brother Jedi there as well, but look out for that.
I was with him. Yes, I was with him earlier on today. Imagine that. Yeah. I was going to Brother Niles, and I bucked up and we had a good discussion.
All right.
So yeah, and it's learning about this music entity and learning how even big up to what they call it, guiding the new generation gang. You have to give them. They've tried to put in their work. They have actually been putting in their work, and they have been trying to go places which no other person was trying to do. So they put in that work and they did what they had to do, and they continue to doing the great works that they're doing. Same thing with the Manhood Academy, the Sisterhood Academy. Same thing with all these organizations that are doing their thing. You know what I mean? People like the Origin, the Narrative Eye, who are going to be at this event as well. So, we're going to have many shows coming up. And I will be doing a lot of shows with MBK and a few others from the United States. So I'm putting that out there. So, as I said, and then we've got a lot of people on health. And then, we're going to do segments of going to people's businesses and seeing what they're about and having a discussion on how we can develop and promote the people's business, because not a lot of us are shopping in these businesses. Like, as I said to you, places like the Ankh Wellbeing Centre in 10 Adelaide Grove, Shepherd's Bush. That is our home. That's our place. Every Thursday we have the quinoa food. We do the meet and greets. We do entertainment. We do many things at the Ankh Wellbeing. Same thing. We had Brother Neb, where we had the future. Was it called with Brother Konsu? What is it that we had with Brother Konsu?
The futuristic.
Yeah, the futuristics, and
Afrofuturism, brother.
Yeah, and then we had the Nessa Vitel. Go and shop in his shop. You've got 102 Brixton Hill, Pampanzi. He's doing his great works, which he's opened up a shop where he sells his food in the Brixton Village. You can't miss it. Real good food. There's many other people that are doing good foods across the board that are not getting promoted. So we need to start going into these premises and showing the people what it's about. We're going to be filming it, even if I have to go in there and film it live and show you what every shop's about. So you're going to see me come on for like a good little short little bite size quick live stream and talking about going into the shops and showing you what it's about, like the Matt Hat Center that's got all the books. Who else is there that we can think of? There's a few in Leytonstone. There's a few in the Brixton area. There's a few in Lewisham. There's many black stores, but we need to start going into these things because a lot of people say, you know what, I don't know where to go or where to see or what to do. And we need to start promoting them as much as possible because we need to bring that economical system. So as I've said this, I always say one thing: buy black, be black, live black, drink black, stay black. You know, this is a new beginning, a new start, a fresh leaf. This is BLACKICETV7. Share, subscribe, and like.